Well, the three counties mediating ceasefire talks between Hamas and Israel have released a joint statement urging both sides to accept the proposal. Qatar, Egypt and the United States are calling on them to finalise the proposed agreement, saying that these principles brought the demands of all parties together in a deal that serves multiple interests and will bring immediate relief to the long-suffering people of Gaza and the long-suffering hostages and their families. Then goes on to say that the deal offers a roadmap for a permanent ceasefire and an ending of the crisis. Well, Hamas spokesperson Osama Hamdan says the group hasn't yet received the proposal announced by President Biden on Friday.
We have not received anything written, and based on our experience, what is verbally said is not what is usually documented. That is why we are ready to study any document with all the details. However, what is being broadcast in the media reflects positivity. We can see that people are conscious that the continuous war and the killing of our people will not make us lose our steadfastness. So there were a lot of positive elements. However, we need to see it documented on a piece of paper that should be sent to us.
Well, just a reminder, the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting in Israel, which is why Imran Khan joins us from the Jordanian capital, Amman. And Imran, the Israeli war cabinet is due to meet in the next couple of hours, so we may have a clearer idea on Israel's position.
Well, I think the operative word there is may. Let's see what that war cabinet meeting actually does. Now, remember, this is the regular war cabinet meeting. It wasn't an emergency session that was convened in the light of the US president's proposal. But the war cabinet is divided. You have Benny Gantz and you have the defense minister, you have Gallant, who have long been talking about a plan for the day after. Now, Benny Gantz has reacted to Israel, to the US president's proposal. He says it needs to be studied. It needs to be looked at. He's effectively hedging his bets. We have a Netanyahu aide who's been speaking publicly. He says, look, it's a bad deal, but it's something that we do need to take seriously. So if there was a crystal ball and if political analysts had access to that crystal ball, they'd probably be talking about some sort of compromise deal that allows them to accept what the US President Joe Biden proposed, even though he framed it as an Israeli proposal. So maybe that will be that they will agree to the first phase of that. And then they say, if that goes well, then we'll do the second, then we'll do the third. But they won't agree to all three phases at once. Remember, Israel's position from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is absolutely clear. No permanent ceasefire until all their goals have been met. Hamas, you heard their reaction there. They're willing to look into this. And so it's going to be interesting because external pressures are also building on the war cabinet. There was a huge protest in Tel Aviv last night. We're looking at about 120,000 Israelis out on the streets, massive banners suggesting that the Biden deal needs to be taken. That's something that the war cabinet, though the people within the war cabinet simply can't ignore. It's public sentiment. But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu still has his secret weapon. He still has those far-right ministers who have threatened to pull out the government if he accepts the deal wholesale that's being proposed by Joe Biden. He also knows that if he can come up with some sort of compromise, they'll remain within the coalition and he'll remain in power. So a lot of negotiations to come. According to a lot of people in Israeli media, political commentators and such, it's due to be a very uncomfortable war cabinet meeting.
No, indeed. And you'll be keeping across any developments for us. Imran Khan, there for us in Amman. And just to remind again, the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.